Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Patty Bennett. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and each Friday I come to you live on Facebook at 10 a.m. Pacific time with some kind of a fun video. Today, yeah, you probably guessed, look what we're making. We are using the new Thankful Garden bundle, which includes a stamp set, dies, and masks. Well, or I call them stencils. I grew up in the 70s and 80s. I call them stencils. Anyway, 60s, 70s, and 80s, I should say. Anyway, so today we are going to be talking about ways to use the stamp set and the die and the masks with our blending brushes. And I'll just move this like really slowly so you don't get too dizzy. Can you see all those ink pads that are up there? Yeah. Lots of ink pads. We are going to be using lots of beautiful colors. You can tell that to create these cards. And I promise you, I have a fabulous, well, more than one tip, but I have a fabulous tip for your masks, your stencils. I have some tips for blending the colors on your cards. I have color combinations for you. I have new products, and then buckle up, my friends. You are not going to want to go away because literally 1 hour ago, I had a whole big brainstorm. I came up with a whole new idea for these, and we are going to play with that whole second idea at the end after I show you all these things. Oh my goodness. Yeah, maybe you might want to grab a coffee or at least a drink of water and maybe even a snack because we are going to have so much fun today, my friends. So if you are watching live, please say hello so that I know that you're here. If you are watching a replay, you are welcome to comment. I don't always see any of your questions or comments later. I try, but I don't always find them. So live comments on Facebook are what I try to respond to while we are chatting. Hey, Anne, Sherry, Randy, Debbie, Rebecca. Hi, Renee, Margaret. Hello, everybody. I am so glad that you are all here. Thank you so much for being here. We are going to go ahead and get started. My name is Patty Bennett, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I have been a demonstrator for almost 30 years. That's right. I am going to celebrate 30 years this June as a demonstrator, and I have almost... well, I don't even know how many now. I just know it's over 6,000 blog posts at pattystamps.com. We are getting very close to 500 videos on YouTube, so that will happen in the next couple of months. We'll have a double celebration for that. And if you are ever looking for any of my oh, okay. Thank you, Susan, for that comment. If you are ever looking for any of the cards that that I share here on my weekly videos, you can always check my blog the next day or the day after. I always have close-up photos so that you can pin them on Pinterest or print them out or whatever you need to do. And if you need supplies, I do have the supplies today that we are using listed on my blog. The Thankful Garden bundle that we're using, which includes this stamp set. Beautiful. I mean, you know me, flowers, gotta have it, right? Beautiful matching coordinating dies, and these masks that we will be using with the blending brushes today. This bundle will be available on March 4th. So I have that noted at the bottom of my blog today. The new products are available March 4th. I have them listed here, including the designer paper that I'm going to show you and the textured notes dies, which was all the rage last week on my live. Like you all went nuts over those. So I'm excited to share more information about that. So if you want to, there's a link right there at the bottom of my blog post to print out your shopping list. You can add these new items to your shopping list so that on March 4th, you are ready to order. If you're a demonstrator, you get to order these all right now. So, you know, that's a fabulous perk. But these things that are down below that reminder, the blending brushes, the paper, we are using some pre-printed cards and envelopes today, and then all the blog colors. Yeah, they aren't blog colors. They're ink colors. I was close. All of the ink pad colors, everything else is available now. So you can go to my blog post today, pattystamps.com, click on any of those links and purchase your supplies today. Okay, let me just see if there was any questions. Oh, good. Colleen has this bundle. Oh, I hope you're going to love the tips today. I love, love, love this bundle. What else? I was going to say something else and it like just went out of my brain. So hopefully it'll come back in. Anyway, let's look quickly at these. I like to do a little overview first, and then we will get going with the blending with the masks. There are 2 different stamps, as you saw in this stamp set, that go with the masks. So the hydrangea, and you can tell when it says down here, images are at 75%, that these are smaller than the actual stamps. So you can see the difference there. The hydrangea is, you know, large. Well, everything is larger. And I don't even know for sure what this is. I think it's like a poppy, like a California poppy, but I'm sure you could turn this into like any color, any flower that you want. I kind of colored it in the colors of California poppies. So I guess the artist creating the cards can do whatever she or he wishes, right? So I have used the hydrangea. You can see I did one in pink. I did one in kind of lavenders with the freesia and the bubble bath. And I did 2 of them in blues. And then this other flower that we were just talking about, here's my take on it with kind of the poppy parade yellows, more of a California poppy look. In the background of this one, I did it in melon mambo. And then here I used yellows. In the background of these 2 cards, I also used the new paper that goes with this whole suite. I want to show you just really quickly. I've used so much of it. I have like scraps to show you. Just gives you a little idea for the patterns and the colors. I think there's a couple more, but this just gives you an idea. It's beautiful, beautiful paper. And it is, yeah, look at this. Look how pretty. And you can get your color inspiration from this sheet if you want to, or you can do your own thing. There's black and white patterns, beautiful patterns. So that paper will also be available March 3rd. And then you might have noticed these rectangular frames that I've used on all of these. I did a little sneak of this last week and everybody was just loving it. So it is called Textured Notes. Look at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus these 2. So 6 larger frames and then 2, I would call this more of a frame maybe for a sentiment. But they all have a different, beautiful, kind of a stitched or woven looking pattern on them. So I'm just going to hold this here so you can see. Look at all these beautiful textured patterns that you get when you die cut these. And this largest one is like card front size. So you can see that it just layers absolutely perfect as a card front layer. This second one gives you like about a 1/2 inch border all the way around. And then this one allows you to kind of layer it a few times if you wanted to, because it's a smaller focal point. And then I don't think, yeah, I didn't actually, oh, I did. This one is this one. And it's on a note card, the 3.5 by 5 Stampin' Up in Stampin' Up inch? Well, there we go. The 3.5 by 5 inch Stampin' Up note cards. Friends, I'm sorry, I'm so excited. I can barely get all of my words out today. It's not that words are hard today. I have so many things to share with you. I hope you feel my excitement. Hope I'm not making you nervous. Anyway, so yes, I did use that one. And then I used the smaller ones as greetings on some other cards. So I think these are fabulous. Again, textured notes. This will be available March 4th to customers. It's available now to demonstrators. Online exclusive products. I think I forgot to say that. I'm so sorry. They're online exclusives, not in a catalog. If I had to predict, I would say that this could possibly sell out fairly quickly, because I just think this is so amazing. I think this is going to be super popular. So just FYI, don't wait too long if you want those. So those are the products that we're using today. I did get a little inspiration for hydrangeas off of Google. You can always do that. And hydrangeas are one flower. Well, hydrangeas and roses come in so many colors. And I think when we as card making artists are working on our projects, I don't think there's really any limits. If you wanted to make it even a totally different color, you totally can do that, right? You don't have to stick with reality. But one thing I wanted to point out, and I'll just hold this up a little closer so you can see, even within one hydrangea bloom, there can be more than one color. And this one too is an example of that. So don't feel like you just have to grab like one shade of blue or one shade of pink. You can really do whatever you would like to do. Let me just see if there were any questions. Yes, Patty, love the rectangle dies. They are amazing. Yes, Tammy, when you are caught up with all of your class offerings, I will have die cutting for you to do. Definitely. Yes, Catherine, I agree. As a demonstrator, it is such an amazing perk to be able to order early. And so that is always fun to be able to get these products early and play ahead of time. So let's dive in. Let's do some ink blending with our brushes and the masks. And as we go, I'm going to give you some tips. And usually I have more of a plan. I do not know which one of these I want to do with you today. Let me see. I did stamp some ahead of time so that the ink would be completely dry. So we can do one of those. Oh, I know something I wanted to share with you. I know. Hang on. I have, yeah. Let me show you something, a tip, before we get too far in. So I stamped 2 of the hydrangeas, and I am going to give you probably my best tip when it comes to using the masks and the blending brushes for this particular set. This might not apply to all of the masks or stencils that you have, but for this one, it does. By the way, I keep mine in the same pockets that I use for my magnet cards for all my dies. These are from Stampin' Storage. Let me just grab a visual for you. And they are actually having free shipping. If you're watching this live on February, what is today? 21st. I didn't even say that, did I? They're having a free shipping offer this weekend. But anyway, Stampin' Storage, these are the magnet cards I use, 6x7, and these are the pockets that go with them. They have different sizes available. This is the one I like, 6x7. And if you go to my blog, pattystamps.com, up at the top, there is a heading that says My Craft Room, and I have all these supplies like the Stampin' Storage, these magnet cards and pockets available as links in different posts. So you can always shop through there. Okay, so we are going to start ink blending. And I think let's do this one with the freesia and the petunia pop. Okay, freesia and petunia pop. Let me grab those brushes. Freesia, petunia pop. And by the way, the Stampin' Up blending brushes come in a pack of 3, and they also come in 2 sizes. I personally like this larger size, just personal preference. And you do not have to have one for every color like I do. I started out with, I think, 9 or 12. So I had one that I could use with my lavenders, one with pinks, one with light greens, one with dark greens, one with oranges, one with yellows, light blues, dark blues. You can totally do that. I recommend you do not wash them because 2 reasons. When you wash them, then you have to wait for them to dry to use them. So that's just it impedes my time. Let's say that. The other thing is, the more you build up ink in these brushes, the better they work, and the more coverage and the more smooth coverage you're going to get. So whatever you decide to do, if you have all 50 colors, if you want to go with 9, 12, 24, whatever you do, just be sure that you have some kind of a label so that you don't, do an oopsie and grab the wrong one. I have these as a free download on my blog. I have all 50 colors. And just keep building up your ink. Okay. That's my my recommendation. So we're going to start with fresh freesia as our background. And I want to show you 2 things here. So I'm using this mask that you can see here. I need some scratch paper. You can see here that it just basically is going to fill in the entire image. And I'm going to do this 2 different ways because I want to show you something. Okay, so you're going to get your ink. You're going to swirl just to make sure you don't have like some weird blob or fuzz or whatever. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my best to fill it in completely evenly, which is what I do not recommend. Okay, because I'm going to show you why. And it's best to build up layers of ink, okay, not try to just go in super, super dark all at once. Now, I am doing my best to kind of just make an even layer, but this is not what I recommend, but I want to show you the difference. Okay, so do you see that's fairly even in color? Okay, now I want to do it a different way over here because I'm going to show you the difference and how beautiful it looks when you do this one little change. Going to line that up. Okay. Okay. On this one, what I'm going to do is purposefully do some lights and darks. So you can see we have a darker area there. I'm going to go over here. And as I'm blending outward from that initial point, it's adding some color, but it's lighter. Okay, so do you see that? I have darker, 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 lighter, lighter, lighter. If you've been around a while and you have followed any of my watercolor pencil, watercoloring, Stampin' Blends videos, my previous blending brush videos, any of that, if you followed any of that, you know what I love about color is lights and darks. And I think it makes everything a little more realistic. And I love contrast between light and dark. So we have started with lights and darks as opposed to all one shade. Okay, so I'm going to do both of these and you can see the difference. I do want to show you what I do to clean my mask. I have my Stampin' Chamois in a little tray. I just set it there, and then this is the little chamois cloth that comes with the glass mat. And I just kind of dab. These just have water. Okay, just dab. And it's more important about dabbing when we get to the next mask, and I'll show you that. And then I have just microfiber cloth. You can use, old washcloth, whatever, towel, anything. And I'm just dabbing. Okay, and that's going to dry it off. So now I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to go to the second one for the hydrangea. And here's where tip number 1, well, this is kind of tip number 1, tip number 2 comes into play. Let's see. Rebecca, that would be beautiful. A hydrangea with blue, purple, and pink. If you hang out till the end, you're going to see something that I did that might answer that. What did I use for the aqua hydrangeas? Do you mean this one? I'm thinking that's what you mean. So that one is, I think it's Balmy Blue. Hang on. I have a cheat sheet up here, and these are going to be on my blog. Balmy Blue and Lost Lagoon. And all these color combinations will be on my blog when I blog each card. So this one is Balmy Blue and Lost Lagoon. Where are these stamps from? Oh, I'm sorry you missed the beginning. Thankful Garden is a new online exclusive available to customers on March 4th. Okay. Oh yeah. Here's what I was saying. All right. So now we have pardon me. I'm so excited. I'm like choked up. Okay. So here's mask number 2. This is not too difficult to line up. However, okay, there's 2 things that will help you. Stampin' Up! Provides a notch that when you are doing your first layer, you can draw that little notch on your card, and then you can line every subsequent mask notch up with it. However, look, if I draw that there, I mean, I guess I could do it in pencil and erase it, but I just don't want to draw it on my project. So here is the tip that I came up with, and I think this works so perfectly. I drew in the tips of the leaves simply by taking the leaf mask, lining it up, and drawing the tips of the leaves onto this mask with a Sharpie marker. That's all I did. Now, when I go to line this up, I'm not looking up here. I'm looking at those 3 spots, and I can instantly see where to line up this second mask. And when we get to the 3rd mask, it's going to make a huge, huge difference. Huge difference. You're going to be like, whoa. Okay, so on this one, where we did a pretty even coat, I'm going to do this really evenly as well. Or at least try. And you guessed it, on the one on the left, I'm going to do it uneven, so we have lights and darks, and then you're going to say, wow, look at the difference. Now, neither one is right or wrong, but it is personal preference. Okay, so here we have a lighter tone in the background, and then our flowers are just colored in a little bit darker. Here, we are going to do darker and lighter. And it's the same color. So fresh freesia on layer 1 and layer 2. But you can progress to a darker and a darker color on each mask if you wish. So this could be Petunia Pop, and then you could go to like maybe Grape or Berry Burst. So, you know, whatever works for your eye. So now, can you tell the difference? I hope this is coming across on camera. The difference of how this is a little more realistic of lights and darks and where the sun might be hitting or where the shadows might be. Okay, now remember when we go back here to cleaning this, the reason that I just dab with my little chamois is because there are some delicate areas, and if I rub, these little areas are going to start to lift and they could bend. So just dab. This could be a paper towel. This could be an old rag, whatever you wish, but this is what I like. This is what works for me. And then I'm just going to dry by dabbing. Okay. Now, when we go to the third layer of the flower, this is where I was having quite a hard time lining this up. And that's when I came up with this idea about drawing the tips of the leaves, and instantly, boom, I know right where that goes. If you prefer to use the notch method or draw the corner of your mask, whatever, you can completely do that. It's just that this felt a little bit easier for me. So now we're going to move to Petunia Pop as our darker layer. And I will do my best to just fill that in completely evenly, just so you can see this difference. Okay, so nothing wrong with that. It's totally beautiful. But I honestly feel like this method over here, where you leave some lights and darks, really brings a little extra life to this flower and makes it feel a little more realistic. I mean, I understand this is just ink and paper. I understand that. But I do like this feeling better of all those light and dark areas versus just sort of 3 layers of color. So what do you think? Let me know. I want you to comment. Is this something you already do, or is this something that is like new to you? Do you feel like, oh, I get this. I know what she's saying. I understand. I'm just curious. I am, and you can do this. And this is a great way to play with your image. I am going to come back without inking my freesia brush. I am just going to add a little bit more to this background, just a little bit. You can always add, you really can't subtract. Yeah, there. That's like just perfect. I think that's perfect. Tammy says, Teacher Patty in her element. Was I missing things? Is that, I guess I should have been looking. Oh, good. Okay, so you can see the difference, Cindy. Thanks, Tammy. Oh, good. Jan, I'm glad you like that tip about drawing the leaf tips. I mean, to me, that just made all the difference in the world. And I was able to just like, boom, 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 layer these masks. And it was so easy. So that's kind of the first thing I wanted to go over with you about adding the color and about the lights and the darks. So let me just see. Oh, okay. Janet couldn't really tell with the first 2, but the third mask made a difference. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? How it builds up. Oh, okay. Denise said mine looks like her hydrangea bush out in her backyard. That's awesome. Okay. All right. Yes, they are both pretty, Holly. I absolutely. There's no right or wrong. I just wanted to show the difference. They are both beautiful, but I just really do love these lights and darks as opposed to more of like a coloring book look. Does that make sense? So let's do the leaves, and then I want to show you some other tips and things that I think you're going to love. So there are only 2 steps with the leaves. Okay, the outline and the detail. So you kind of have to think about, all right, what colors am I going to do so that I can achieve a built up look of colors, but I only have 2 colors to work with. So this again is where I started doing some darker color on the first, well, let me just show you. Okay. Lemon Lime Twist. Put my purples away, get my lemon lime and my granny apple. So this is kind of a good example of one reason that it's really helpful to label your brushes, because that looks so much darker than Granny Apple Green to me, but it's because of years of built up ink on it. And it's so when I go to grab it, I'm always thinking like, this has got to be garden green or mossy meadow or something, but it's not. So important to label. All right, back to what I was going to explain it, but I think it's easier to show it. Oh wait, got to use the right leaf. Okay, so super easy to line up leaf mask number 1, right? I am going with my lighter green in this case, which is going to be Lemon Lime Twist. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go darker here and here, kind of in like a V. Okay, I'm going to go darker up here. And this is because I only have 2 colors to play with. If I had 3 layers of mask for this, I could have like 3 built up colors, but I only have the opportunity to do 2 built up colors. So I'm going to start by giving that some depth. Now I can go over the whole thing, but it's almost like I did 2 colors because, do you see that? Do you see how I have some darker color under the flower where the shadow would be cast? And then I have some lighter color there. So it looks like I already used 2 colors, but I cheated. Now Granny Apple will be our darker layer. And those are kind of the details. So Granny Apple, just double checking. And again, I'll start at that top part, kind of making that V. And then I'll just fill in. And you can always take a peek and see if you want to keep building up color or if you're happy with it. Okay, now what I'm going to do, that's why I didn't clean this, is I am going to put, probably have enough on here. Let me see if I do. The Lemon Lime Twist, I'm going to build that up over on top of all this color just to give a little more vibrant green. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So there you go. How easy. I hope you think it's easy. I hope those tips were helpful. And then if you want to, as I did in several of my samples, you can grab the matching die and then you can just die cut that out. Or we could maybe go to maybe the second one. Yep, or we could go to that one and die cut it out. It doesn't, doesn't matter. Doesn't make any difference, but I don't know. I just think these are so beautiful, so many possibilities. And please, if you missed the beginning, don't go away, friends. I have something I think is incredible to show you after this. Let me catch up on comments. Oh, good. Debbie says it's shocking how easy it was. Good. I hope you'll try it. Thanks, Kathy. I'm glad you liked the tips. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks, Colleen, Holly. Thank you, Margaret. Let's see. What was this? Oh, good. Renee loves hydrangeas. She's going to be getting this. I wish I could grow them, Renee. I have tried so many times and they're like really good for a few months and then they die. I don't know. My yard, I guess I don't know. It's just not suited for it. I don't know. Oh, the inks. Rebecca, thank you. So she was saying, what about the inks for stamping this? So I did all of these in Memento Black ink, except this. And this is basic gray. So I wanted to just point out that if you're using a softer color palette, you might want to use a softer background color for your stamping. You could even, if you wanted to, try to stamp both the green and the pink. I'm good with just an outline solid color for the whole thing. But thank you for asking about that. Yes, so I did stamp them with Memento, except this one, which was basic gray. You could also do Pebbled Path, Smoky Slate, Gray Granite. You could even try maybe Crumb Cake if you want a really light one. And I got to show you this. Isn't this pretty? I used the antique pearls in the center of each flower. Oh my gosh. And then there was one more. This one. I did the black, what are these officially called? Because I tend to make up names. Sparkle gems. Can you see those? They sparkle. Isn't that pretty in the centers of those? And then I think I did one more. Yes. Oh, this one. Hang on. This is two-tone sparkle gems. And if you haven't used these, they tend to reflect whatever color you are using in the pink, purple, or blue range. So when you see them in the package, you see a lot of pink and purple, but when you put them on a blue card, they look blue and they are gorgeous. Gorgeous. And these cards, let me show you. Yeah, this one. This card set, the card base and envelope, as well as this one, the card base and envelope. These might be overlooked. These are in the current mini catalog, and they are called Stripes and Florals Mix and Match Cards and Envelopes. So they're in a pack with the patterned base card and the matching beautiful printed envelope. So I just wanted to show you those. They are in the supply list on my blog today. If you forget what I said, you can always go back there to pattystamps.com today to see those. But I just wanted to point those out. And the River Rock, wait, no, that's not what they're called. Riverside pearls, I think, are beautiful with these cards because these are one of those elements that will pick up the colors in your project, which I think is just so pretty. So that was that. Talked about that. This dotted paper I showed you earlier is part of the new Lovely Garden paper pack. What else did I want to show? Oh, so these two patterns are in the Lovely Garden, and I just tried some yellows on this one. And it's daffodil and then just a little tiny bit of Calypso coral for some, just a little bit of added dimension and depth to that. And here was one of those longer dies in this new textured note die set. And then this one, I decided to stamp directly onto that textured note die for that image, poppy, whatever it's supposed to be, like we said. And then I die cut the hydrangea and put it on top. And I thought that was a pretty combination. And this again is one of those textured note die pieces. And I used that, I think this is, yeah, this is in the set. Thankful for You Friend is in that, sorry, Thankful Garden stamp set. So I have a whole new idea to show you with this. Do you want to watch? I know we've already gone 43 minutes, but I have another idea. Let me just see if there were any questions. The Stampin' Up marker. Okay, so you were asking about me drawing on here. You have to use a permanent marker. Stampin' Up markers are water-based. They will wipe right off. So you have to use some kind of a permanent marker. So a Stampin' Blend or a Sharpie marker will not wipe off when you're cleaning it with water. Let's see. Just let me see if I missed anything else. Oh, Shirley says she needs to get this set. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, hang on. I'm just checking to see if there were any other questions on this live feed. No, I did not color the antique pearls. That's just how they are. That is just the color of the antique pearls. Thank you for asking. Lois. Thank you, Lois. Yes, Sparkle Gems, Peggy. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Yeah, you're right, Debbie. River Rock was a color from the past. That slipped out, didn't it? Oh my goodness. Let's see. Okay, of course you want to see it all, Tracy. You are so sweet. Thank you. The names of the new dies. It's the bundle that I've been showing, the Thankful Garden. Oh, this one. Yes, I showed this one in the beginning as well. And this is called Textured Notes. Let me just grab this sheet. It's probably easier to see. Textured Notes, again, part of the online exclusives coming out on March 3rd, 2025. And I showed, if you want to watch the replay, I showed how I used all of these on these cards. So we went through that already. I'm not going to repeat, but you are totally welcome to watch the replay. Can you say the number for the card base and envelopes? Yes. It is 164855. Stripes and florals mix and match. 164855. Let's see. Yes, we also have StazOn, which you can use, Rebecca, as a black ink. However, it stains your stamps, and you're not supposed to use the StazOn cleaner with photopolymer stamps. So that is why I used Memento. The other reason I used Memento is I stamped a whole bunch of them, and I plan to try my Stampin' Blends with these images. And so I just wanted them to be ready. All right. Let's see. Oh, good question. So Susan is asking, how long do online exclusives usually last? So Stampin' Up, this is a new thing for Stampin' Up in the past year and a half, maybe 2 years, online exclusives. It basically means a product that is not in a catalog, but it is in the online store. And they kind of are using this, I'm going to say almost like as a test. So they are just seeing, like, is this popular? Is it really popular? Do a lot of people order it? Then they will restock it if it runs out. If it's not very popular and it starts to run out, then it's just going to go away and they won't restock it. So sorry, that's kind of the long answer to your question is we don't know, Susan, how long these items will be in stock. My recommendation always is if you like something, get it as soon as you can. I know not everybody can order on the first day of a release, but if you are able, I would just highly recommend that you get it at the beginning of a release. Yeah. Yes, Rebecca, Stampin' Up! Does not have its own black pad. We just have, I'll show you. Oh, I grabbed the brown one, sorry. We have the black StazOn and the black Memento. This is for when you are using Stampin' Blends, because this will not bleed if you use basic white cardstock and this pad and Stampin' Blends. The black StazOn, sorry, I grabbed the brown. The black StazOn is for when you are doing watercoloring or using the Stampin' Write markers that are water-based. All right. Why don't they cross-reference and label them as online exclusives? It would be nice, Becky, and lots of people have asked. The only thing I can suggest is that you please email Stampin' Up, or if you are a demonstrator, use the suggestion box and put that in the suggestion box. The more people that request something like that, the more chance we have of having that happen. Okay, so do you want, first of all, any questions on these before I move to my other, like, oh my gosh, you got to see this moment cards? Any questions on these? I'll pause for just a minute, and then I'm going to show you my next idea. I don't see, I think there is quite a lag because wow, I am seeing such a lag on my iPad. So Katie is asking for measurements. So here's the thing. You don't need measurements because all of the cards are just your basic 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then all of my layers on here are these new dies. So you really don't need measurements. I just die cut these and layered them. And I mean, like they're something like that layer, it's just a 1/4 inch bigger than the die cut. So no, I did not put dimensions for these because they are just the die cut and the standard card base. So Debbie said, did I stamp and then cut the rectangles? No, I actually die cut a whole bunch of these and stamped a whole bunch of them, all different sizes, so that I could just start coloring or using my masks. But you can totally do what I did here and just stamp on a larger piece of paper, do your ink blending or your coloring, and then die cut. It does not matter. It's whatever works for you. Okay. All right. So let's, what ink is the dark blue flower? This one is Boho Blue, Misty Moonlight, and Night of Navy. So this one and this one will be on my blog, pattystamps.com, tomorrow, February 22nd, and the colors are there. The color combinations are listed. Oh, and this is Clover and Shamrock. And this is what we did before with the lime and the granny apple. So you'll get all those colors on my blog tomorrow. And then other cards with the color combos will be in future posts. I just didn't want to make my post too long with all of these. All right, let's look at this other idea that I think you are going to love. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So I woke up this morning with this idea and I had to sit down and I had to start playing. So what I did was I grabbed the Full of Life paper and I started stamping on it. Okay. Pinks and yellows. Yes, please. Blues. Yes, please. Leaves in green. Yes, please. Blues and greens. Yes, please. Purples and blues. So somebody was asking earlier, what about the flower in multicolors? Yes. Right? Beautiful. Use the green part for the leaves. So I started playing with this, oranges and pinks. Let me show you what I came up with. I'm so excited about this, you guys. Oh my gosh. So this is what I came up with. I used peach and pumpkin pie on the orange part. And I'll do one of these for you if you want. If you want to see this, I'll do one. And then I added melon mambo on top of the pink one. And I die cut them both. I stamped it twice onto my textured notes die. And then I just covered up the flower parts with the die cut flowers. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. And then I used another piece of the Full of Life paper. And look, when I layer that onto the white base card, oh my gosh, how fun is this? So what you don't need is the largest mask layer because you already have your base color. So you just do the 2 additional layers to get your darker colors. Well, I was so excited about this. What do you think? Does this, like, is anybody else kind of speechless like I am? I just think this is fantastic. So I thought we would play with this for a minute and I would show you, I haven't done this one yet, so we'll see how it turns out. Either the pink and the blue or the blue, I don't know, or this, I don't know. We can play. I know it's already been an hour, my heavens, right? I know, isn't it gorgeous, Michelle? I know, Katie, Doreen. Oh, I'm glad, Susan. I'm glad you all love this. I just think this is so amazing. The Full of Life paper is in the annual catalog. Let me flip this. You may recognize it more with these patterns. For me personally, I love these, but I love these more because I love a good sort of a watercolory wash or a wash of color. This makes my heart sing. And when I woke up at 5:30 this morning with the lovely alarm, this is what was in my brain. And I had to run in here and start playing. Oh, Susan said she never would have thought of it. Okay, Peggy votes for pink and blue. Kat says it blows her mind. Thanks, Patricia. Thanks, Randy. Oh, thank you, everybody. I'm glad you like these. So what did you say? The pink and... Wait, I lost the comment. Pink and blue. Pink and blue. This one? All right, let's play with that. Let's see what we can do with this. And this is just crafting on the fly, my friends. Let's just do crafting on the fly. And let's see what we can come up with for this. So here's this idea. We'll keep that one handy just so we have some beautiful inspiration. So let's see. Hang on. Let me find my 3 masks. Where's my third one? What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. Okay. So the biggest mask, I really don't think you need. Personally, I don't think you need to add a base color here. So I'm going to skip this one. This is just the number 1. It's got a number 1 on it. I'm just going to skip that one. So I'm going to go right to mask number 2. And remember, with my handy dandy little leaf outline, I can set those 2 leaf tips down and look, all I have to do is slightly adjust it and I know right where that mask goes. Yay! But hang on, I'm going to move this because I need a little bit of room here to ink off. So I am going to say, Petunia Pop to add to this side. And what do I want to do? I really want to do boho. I know this isn't boho, but I think the addition of a different blue might just be what this needs. So, you know what? It's only paper. We're going to live dangerously and we're going to try it. So, Petunia Pop. Just lining it back up. Okay, Petunia Pop. Make sure we don't have a blob, right? And we're just going to add some petunia over that part. I'm excited to see how this looks. I mean, this either could be a disaster or it could be amazing, right? Oh, look what's happening. Okay, so in this middle where I'm going over the blue, I'm getting purple as opposed to the more magenta-y, pinky. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so pretty. This is so pretty. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to try it. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to go with boho. Let's see. I might hate it. I might love it. Let's peek. You want to peek? Look how pretty. Oh my gosh. Look how pretty that already is. Oh my gosh. And if you all go run and order Full of Life paper, it's going to go on back order. So don't delay. Okay, let's see how the bow. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love this. Oh, I love that. Now, we can either build up another layer of the same color, or we can grab a darker color. But I'm going to start with this because, like I said, you can't take away color. You can only add. Oh, I'm loving that. And then we'll come back to petunia. Let's make sure that's lined up. Yep. I'm running out of space. I should have grabbed a larger piece of grid paper. Oh my gosh. Oh, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look how gorgeous. Oh my goodness. I am speechless. I am in love. Anybody else loving this? Oh my gosh. Michelle says she's getting lightheaded from excitement. Like, Michelle, I almost felt that like a couple minutes ago. I was like, I hope I don't faint because my blood pressure is raising. Thank you, Dickie. Thank you, Tammy. Thanks, Susie. Thanks, Janet. Thank you, everybody. Oh my gosh, I know. I love this. Oh, Lisa, I didn't know you were here. Lisa says, wow, wow, wow. Yep, I know. It's so pretty, you guys. This is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. And I think what I want to do is go ahead and do one of these sets of leaves. Let me just clean off my lemon lime and granny apple. And let's die cut this and let's see what it's going to look like on a card, because I can't leave you hanging, right? You're invested now and you want to see this through to the end, I'm sure. Just make sure this is dry. And I'm thinking, I'm kind of thinking Shy Shamrock. And I'm going to do a very, very light shading like I showed you on that first hydrangea. So I'm going to do one layer up here where it's going to be kind of under the flower. Oh my gosh, I don't even know if we need to do any more. That is so pretty. We'll just do just a little, just a tiny extra, just a little. Yep. Oh my gosh, look at that. And then a tiny bit of this. I don't want this to be too bold. It's hard when I'm sitting way over here. It's much easier when you're looking straight down. I think I've got it. Okay, I think I've got it. I don't want this to be too bold of a contrast. I just want a little bit. A little bit more. You can always build up your color. I don't know. I'm a broken record. I know. Okay, I think that's good. Yeah, look how beautiful. Look at the... Hang on, I'm just going to hold this up so you can see kind of the befores and afters of just stamping on the full of life paper and then adding the color. My heart, like it is racing. And I just want to show you this. Look at this combo. Who would have known? Shy Shamrock, Petunia Pop, and Boho Blue. I don't know that I have ever used this as an actual color combo. But look at that. Wow. That is a wow. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. My heart. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, full of life paper. Yes, Lois. So I was showing that earlier when I was searching for ideas today, and just wanted to show you that you can do really anything you want. And look, you can do anything you want, right? And so I forget who just asked about the paper. So I was showing this sample earlier that I stamped on the full of life paper. This is a total bonus. Like, this is part 2 of our video today. It's just so exciting. So exciting. So pretty. So then I would, you know what, this video has already gone so long. I think what I will do is I will die cut this and create a card with this, and I will finish up this card, and I will post these 2 cards together so that you can see them, because this isn't glued. You can see I just was playing. I will post these 2 together and show you what I come up with for this one, and then you'll be able to see the finished sample and get some ideas for using this paper, the full of life paper. And that way you don't have to sit here for the next however many long minutes it takes me to figure it all out. Lena says, I've never heard you so excited. I don't know if I have been. This right here makes Patty's heart so happy. This is just my life. Like, if I could use one word for my life, it would be color. This right here, color. This is what makes my life happy. Well, okay, I mean, my family, my savior, you know, like, okay, you get it. But I mean, if I just had to be like a tangible thing, it would be color. And yeah, so this just makes me happy. Thank you, Ginger. Thank you. Thanks, Susan. So let's see. Debbie says she's cracking up. I'm cracking up. Oh my goodness. So I will finish this up. I will post it today on my business Facebook page. It will be on my blog. I don't know when, a future date. And then you can see this. But I hope that the tips for lights and darks, okay, that was kind of our first tip. The tip for drawing on your mask, I hope that is like a game changer for you, because it was for me. And color combinations, using the internet search for ideas. I hope all of that truly helps you. Oh, I did forget to say, when I was a little bit stuck for like what green should I use with what flower, I grabbed my color coach. So Freesia and Petunia Pop are right across from Granny Apple and Lemon Lime, which is why I did that as complementary colors. And then the yellows, oranges, pinks. So when I got into more of the Mambos and the pinks, I came over here into the Shamrock and the Spruce. You can use this if you are kind of stuck and you're not sure what colors are going to work well, but don't forget about your color coach. I just wanted to mention that. You're welcome, Susan. You're welcome, Holly. You're welcome, Lois. Lois says my joy makes her happy. Thank you. Oh, Jill, yes. The color coach, you can find it in the catalog. It's on page, hang on. I want to say 132, but you know what? I could be wrong. So let me just peek. So if you don't have the actual color coach, which, you know, you can purchase, 132, I was right. So you can find it here along with all the instructions, but we also sell it just as a separate item. So I hope that that is helpful to you. And let's see, were there any other questions? I don't think so. Thank you, Tammy, Jackie, Polly. Thank you, everybody. Oh, Elizabeth, can I explain the markings again? Yes, I will do that real quickly for you. So what I was explaining was, after you do mask number 1, which this is really pretty easy to line up, right? You stamp your image. There's not a lot that can go wrong trying to line this one up, right? So there we go. That's number 1. So for number 2 and number 3, to add the details, I kept like turning it around. I did not want to use the V mark on my project, so I didn't mark it. But what I found was that if I grab the leaf mask and put it on top, take a Sharpie and put the tips of the leaves on this one, then all I have to do is, I'm looking here and here, I'm going to line those 2 leaf tips up, and then all I have to do is like barely nudge that and it's right in place. Same with this one. This one is even harder to line up because you're like turning and turning like, I don't know where this goes. But if you just look at these 2 tips, boom, it's right in place. So that was my tip about drawing on your mask. Okay, thank you everybody so much. I am so glad you enjoyed this as much as I did. I'm over the moon excited about this. I can't wait to finish this card and share it with you. And I will see you all next week for another fun week, another fun hour together. So have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Bye.